Hello, everybody. So today we have something special. I have with me Shadow John today, who's along with me. We decided that we wanted to do a little bit of dual reaction, in you're going to see a very cheap way because because it's going to be. It took like 40 minutes to get set up for this, so hopefully it works out in the way we intended.
Yes, and we have some great reactions for you today.
Yeah.
Some great videos today.
Yeah, we have 4 videos we're going to do. You guys won't see them all on the same day, unfortunately for you guys. I'm sure you guys would love to see them all right away, but I'll be spacing them out so that you get to enjoy us on multiple days, not just one. We just get comfortable here as we get started, because this is going to take a little while. Because we're going to start off with Nightwish, which was I asked what he wanted to check out from the Decades live concert, and he told me Dead Boy's Poem was the next great way to go. So it's more of a reaction, I guess, for me. He's already seen it, but that's fine. Like, it's gonna happen.
It's a reaction/review.
Yeah, so that's basically how we both kind of already done it. So, alrighty.
Yeah, I've seen that you've done the album review.
Yes, yes, that was a little harder than I thought it was going to be when I started it. I'm not going to lie to you. That was time consuming.
There's a lot of work in that video, man.
There's a lot of thinking, and there's some of the tracks, I should have really listened to the album again. Human Nature is what we're talking about, by the way, in case you didn't see that reaction. It wasn't even really a reaction, it was a review, sorry. But I just basically went over every track, but I didn't really have the chance to go over the whole album a few times to remind myself of stuff before, because I don't have a lot of free time. So there was a few tracks I was like, I'm pretty sure this is how I felt about this track, but I wasn't completely sure. I had to listen to some parts, but it turned out all right in the end.
Yeah, I think I've listened to that album 10 times, after its release, because at first I just couldn't understand where they were going, but after you start to listen to it more and more, you kind of just getting in, just started to enjoy it, and that worked for me. I just listened to an album lots of times just to, I don't know, to settle in.
I know what you mean. I felt like the first few times I listened to it, I felt like it took a few times to get to understand, like you said, what they were doing, because it was a different approach, I felt, than the last few albums. They had this almost a uniqueness to it, I would say.
Yeah. For me, it was the hardest one was to accommodate. It was the song Noise. It was the first track released from the album, and it was very kind of weird and different, and I wasn't used to that, and I was like, oh, what is happening, But after a few listens, I started to enjoy it because I got used to the sound.
Yeah.
And you have pretty different tracks. Like you have Harvest, for example. It's a very different track.
It's a big change from Noise going to Harvest, that's for sure.
And I really like where they gone to, and we shall see what is for up next.
Yeah.
The new album. Yeah.
All right, so let's get started on the other new album, the newest live album. Again, we're going to continue on with A Dead Boy's Poem. Obviously, he's already heard this. I've heard this song, not this version. But
you heard the Once one.
Yeah, I heard the Once version. I'm pretty. Yeah, it was the album version I did, correct? If I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah. So this will be the first live one as well. So let's get started. The atmosphere is cool right off the bat.
What?
2 seconds. So right off the bat, I have to say the atmosphere is really cool. Just the lighting and everything was just perfect to start it off, I found. I'm just going to ask if you could turn down your volume a little bit more because it is picking up on your microphone. We didn't really have a lot of time to check beforehand. We probably should have.
On the video?
Yeah, I can hear a little bit of the video coming in on your microphone.
All right. It's the lowest one. It's almost mute.
Oh my god. Okay. It was picking up a little bit. Worst case, I don't know if you have any headphones around that you can plug in.
No, my headphones are broken.
Yeah. So we'll make it work though. We'll make it work. Even if I just have to just temporary mute in between pauses, we'll just do it that way if it becomes a problem. All right.
Yeah. About the song, if you can remember, from the original album, from the Once album,
Mm-hmm.
here in the live version, you're going to hear something different. I'm not going to say what, but the song is played differently.
Okay.
You're going to like it. It's a nice change.
Okay. I might not. You might have to point it out to me. I might not even remember. It's been a long time since I've heard the album version of Dead Boy's Poem. I'm not going to lie to you. So, but maybe I'll notice. We'll see. I'm usually good at this.
All right.
All right. Let's continue.
Drown into beautiful eyes. Walk within my poetry, this dying music. My love letter to nobody. Never sigh for better world. It's already composed, played and told. Every thought, the music I wrote, everything I wish for the night.
Okay. 2 seconds. Let me just turn your volume back on. So yeah, I have to mute you while it's playing basically. So I just need a second to turn you back on in between. So far, that was beautiful. It sounds so good on this DVD so far.
When they got into the chorus, in the original one they had a kick, so it was like more energetic, like a lot of electric guitar, but now you just have the acoustic one, and it settles a sadder mood.
I figured that was what it was because it did sound. I felt like that was different if it was going to be something, but I wasn't 100% sure because again, it had been so long since I had checked out this album that especially lately, because when I listen to Nightwish now, it's usually like Human Nature because that's the newest album. So I find I don't go back as much as I should.
Yeah.
But
we don't. One request: we don't stop on the solo.
Oh no, I don't. I usually don't stop on solos. So
because, it's a great one, and I see a lot of people getting mad when you're when somebody is stopping on the solo because it loses the momentum, and I'm kind of like that guy.
Yeah, I understand that. That's why the bonus of doing the reactions and already being a metalhead for years and years is that you can usually tell. You just know when there's going to be a solo, and I usually I don't think I've ever ruined a solo except maybe one time. So because I can tell when it's coming.
Yeah.
Which is nice, because that's the thing with some of the hip hop guys that are doing metal songs. Sometimes they pause it and they have no idea that they paused it in the worst possible spot they could have ever paused it, because they're just not used to the song structure. And I'm like, oh no. But we're gonna avoid that for sure. So let's keep going.
Let's continue.
I brought it back a little bit.
For I've given this its strength, and it has become my only strength. Comforting home, mother's lap, chance for immortality, where being wanted became a thrill I never knew. Sweet piano writing down my life. Teach me passion, cry for it's gone. Show me love, hold the long. So much more I wanted to give to the ones who love me. I'm sorry. Time will tell, this bitter farewell. I live no more to shame, nor me, nor you. And you, I wish I didn't feel for you anymore.
Oh, right.
So what did you think?
So I decided I didn't want to pause it again because it just felt like it felt like it flowed even better than on the album.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just me, but it just hearing her do the clean vocals instead, like comparison to like hearing it from the Once
Yeah,
album.
there's a different build up.
Yeah,
So it's not super different, like extremely, but you can tell the difference between the Once version and the live one with Floor.
yeah,
Um, and I just like it when she just let herself loose with those notes. She just gets to those high notes. You've seen that she starts from a lower voice, then she gets to her head voice pretty quickly, and she does some really good vowels as well.
oh,
And if you've listened to the new album, Human Nature, you've seen how difficult the songs are lyrically to sing.
not even just lyrically. Like Shoemaker is such a
Yeah,
hard song to sing. Like when I did the reaction, I even went back and seen it again. I was like, that is such a hard song to sing, just by the changes she chose to do, um, and she's just so comfortable with her voice. Is it's basically what it comes down to. It's literally just years
yeah.
and years and just being comfortable. And
I think what Tuomo said was that we wanted to challenge our two new members. So it was Floor and Kai, the drummer.
mm-hmm,
Um, Kai was very good at the song, well, all the songs, but you can absolutely see how good it is in the song Tribal, which is my favorite song from that album,
mm-hmm,
uh, from the human part.
yeah,
Um, it's such a good song. And Shoemaker is one standout as well.
yeah. Um, More about this song too. I understand what you mean by the solo, and again, it's he Empu just knows exactly what to play on guitar every time. He still blows my mind that like he knows when he's not supposed to show off. I'm assuming that he writes his solos. I'm not sure how much Tomas is involved in like deciding how the solos go and guitar parts. I know he obviously decides some things,
Well,
but
I thought about that as well, and if you are in the group Nightwish family
yeah,
slash group in on Facebook, there are a lot of people that say, "Oh no, Empu just says what he was told, like do your this solo." Like Thomas goes to Empu and he's like, "All right, you will do this solo," and no, everyone is a team. Everyone is contributing the best he can. So I believe that Amp does his own solos,
yeah.
and some people are to disagree about that, but I don't know how.
I don't feel
I
I'm
don't
with
know.
you on that. I don't feel like you could make music that's that great and have
Yeah.
the feel like they're like as a group the way they do if he was completely being controlled by someone else.
If you are taking some examples of solo, like Ever Dream is a solo that is consistently with the song, is not a standout. If you take this solo as well, is the same way. But if you take the High Hopes one, the Pink Floyd, when he
Yeah,
does the slide tapping and you know the tapping, it's something else. And the Romanticide as well, the solo is crazy.
yeah.
When he just goes, man.
No, he does. He definitely does. And
And let's point out the Tuomas keys when you hear the piano. It's very soothing. I don't know why, but it's a very beautiful sound.
this,
I always.
I have to say this song like performed like this, and I know his keyboard piano did stand out a lot on it as well. But just the song as a whole and the way they performed it, I can
Yeah.
understand like what you mean, how it's different. But I think I do like it more than the album version.
When I first heard this version, I was like, my first question wasn't like floor voice. I wasn't impressed about Thomas or Empu's solo. I was like, is the boy's voice the same as the one's album, the original one?
Oh,
Uh, if it's remastered in some way, because it doesn't sound. It sounds a bit differently in the original one, like a lower quality.
yeah.
Now it's kind of a remaster. I think they did in the album Decades. The Boys Poem is the remastered version. Like,
Okay. It could still be the same track and just digitally enhanced as well.
yeah.
For sure. For the remaster, I can't imagine they use a
That's
different child. That's for sure because it sounds the
No,
same.
no.
So, um, but yeah.
Fun fact: I watched with my girlfriend. I watched the movie Imaginarium
Mhm.
by Nightwish, and there was this child, and I immediately thought of Dead Boy's Poem just when I saw that child.
Just had
I
to
don't know
right
why.
away. But that makes sense. It makes sense,
Yeah.
especially when you're so into Nightwish to that point. You're like, oh, that could be that child. It's got to be.
Yeah.
That makes complete sense. So, okay, the video is getting pretty long. So overall, this was an amazing rendition of Dead Boy's Poem. Is how I would title that one. It's just beautiful version. Probably my favorite version that I've heard from between the two. Has to be for me.
Yeah, I agree with what you say. The live performance is somewhat different. I like the both versions, the one with Taria original and the, let us say, the remastered one.
Hmm.
But for me, it will always be Taria had her own songs, and those are my favorites. And we have the floor uh, versions that I are still my favorite. So I don't pick anything. I don't do any like differentials between floor, Taria, or net
Yeah.
because it's not fair. They have different vocals, different styles. So for me, it's a win. It's
Yeah.
always a win.
That's true.
I love all the versions.
Just hearing Nightwish is a pleasure. Just every time.
Yeah.
I understand that completely. All right, well,
And,
I don't want to cut you off, but
Yeah.
we'll keep talking if we don't stop at some point. I know we will because that's just how it goes when you throw two people that are fans into a video. We won't stop talking, and we won't even end up talking about the song anymore. We'll be about everything else Nightwish. So I think we should cut it there because since we're up to like 25 minutes into the video.
That's already 25 minutes?
Yes. Yep.
Holy.
So we'll cut it off there, and I hope all you guys enjoyed. If you did, you can hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to both our channels, mine and Shadow John as well. His channel is written exactly how it sounds, Shadow John. And the link's going to be in the description, of course, as well, to his channel for a direct link. And we'll see you guys on our next video that should be coming out probably within a day or two of this one.
See ya, guys.